There aren't many moments of watching anything that can get you to react like this.
One kill for the ultimate, but Berserk tries to stick the spike. His teammate just needs to stick.
No! No!
He sticks it.
Oh!
SPG!
No way!
The kill!
No way! No way! But that is what happened in the game between Simprisa Gaming and Boom Esports. And let's talk about this game because it was an all-timer. It happened in the Pacific Ascension Final. So these two teams are playing for the chance to go and compete in Tier 1 Pacific next season. And the loser will end up with nothing. And let's start by introducing the team, starting with Boom Esports. And Boom Esports are an Indonesian org. And this game was taking place in Indonesia. So there was a heavy home crowd bias.
In his way, catches them on the timing! The collateral shots! The ace! Famous! The crowd shouts your name!
And this home crowd bias got so crazy at some points that they were even booing when Simprisa would take a timeout.
Willing them forward. This would be a historical comeback in a grand final. And Simprisa, the crowd knows that they are rattled.
But despite having the home crowd advantage, they were actually the big underdogs in this game because their opponents were Simprisa Gaming. And Simprisa Gaming were pretty good, let's just put it that way. They hadn't dropped a single map coming into this grand final, running all the way through the uppers, winning every game 2-0, including a 13-0 in the upper final.
Eyes on John Olsen. It's his moment to shine right now. They've been questioning the whereabouts, but I think this is going to be a denial of service. Sushi Boys, man, I really wish you could have this, but guys, we have witnessed something that you could never have dreamed of.
So considering they hadn't dropped a single map throughout their entire run, and the fact that they had a double map ban advantage, it was pretty clear that Simprisa should be winning this pretty cleanly. But in the end, it didn't go as cleanly as many would have expected. And that also happened on the production side as well, because what kept this game so entertaining throughout was also that the production was having a myriad of different problems, the like of which I have never seen before. It started off with not having any of the normal user interface that you're used to seeing, and then at one point there was a mini UI, and then for the second map they introduced this kind of very hastily made like 2020 looking UI as well. Then at one point the screen just started blinking. It was a bizarre thing that I've never seen happen, of just coming in and out and in and out of a pure black screen. Then at one point there was like this weird like 70s music video kind of looking thing with the player cams mixed in with the actual game going on at the same time, and this happened a couple times throughout different maps. And then at one point it looked like production just completely gave up with this very cinematic fade to black.
Anti-eco.
Throughout this whole tournament, Dambi has been such an annoying factor, but suddenly now, boom with the comp.
And then after this fade to black, the audio just completely went out of sync with what was going on the screen.
Be able to defend in time, but it looks like it's going to be an open site and a retake scenario for Boom.
And this is the strength of that Viper as well. In a pivot position, he's able to come back to see it at the right time. Famous, the fast lane comes up. Francis in the cyber case though. Berserks up from behind. Perser fires back, and here he comes. Boom, trying to pick them off bit by bit. Frag by frag, bullet by bullet. Margaret up from behind, but he's been heard. Sesame turns around at the right time. Boom, the bonus has been converted.
So that definitely kept it pretty funny and entertaining throughout, because you didn't know what was going to happen either in the game or from the production side either. But now let's get actually to the game and try and set up how we actually got to how we ended. Because as I said, Simprisa were the heavy favorites for this game, and on the first map, they looked like the heavy favorites for this game. They came out and the first map went completely as everyone kind of predicted. Simprisa were clearly the better team, running over Boom Esports in a lot of different ways, and it wasn't even really a contest.
Ground.
Boom trying to get comfortable in the side, but Dambi's going to slide forward, throwing up the fast lane, and now trying to dive onto the back of the side with the rest of the team. Shiro just alive, and he can't hold on.
So they're 1-0 up and everything's going as expected, but then we'd move to the second map, Icebox. But things did not start well here for Simprisa Gaming. In fact, the duelist Dambi ended up 0-8 on first kills to first deaths on their attacking side, and it didn't look good whatsoever, and they ended up 9-3 down. But then as soon as we swapped sides, a completely different team turned up, and they very, very quickly took control of this game, winning 10 of the next 11 rounds to win this map 13-10.
He's busting off from behind, but the shot's not connecting! Sinprisa Gaming, they're tearing things up, but here comes NC Slasher, picks up a weapon off the ground, Famous, he's got to do it all, pops the blades, and he's looking to go diabolical, but it's not gonna happen!
Okay, so they had a bit of a scare on map 2, but they're now 2-0 up on maps. It's over. It's just over. They're clearly the better team. We're now moving to one of their map picks again, which was Lotus. Well, Lotus played out in a bit of a different way to the first two maps, where it was very streaky, but for both sides, and it ended up being a very close back and forth. It started off with Sinprisa winning the pistol in the second round, but then Boom would win 3 rounds in a row to make it 3-2. But then Sinprisa would come back and win 4 rounds in a row to make it 6-3. And then Boom would manage to win the next 3 rounds to make it 6-6. So a very streaky first half, and that continued in the second half when Boom won the first 3 rounds of the second half. But then Sinprisa, after winning a Thrifty, would then win the next 6 rounds, making it 12-9. And so Sinprisa would end up with 3 chances to completely close out the map. But then this happened.
As well, and that's too much. Here comes Danby. He's dancing all over the site. Berserks connects onto the first shot. The showstopper comes in. Boom! They're trying so hard to fight back. Up against the ropes. They throw in some haymakers. They throw in the huge punches. Their fists are hand. With that judge. Oh, this position, Billy. This is not good for them. A single mistake and it could be it. Paranoia through and Berserks. He's managed to make it happen. Needs to go in hand. That's gonna be the kill. That's gonna be another. Ivy, what can you do? Spike tapped all the way to half. Dancing back and forth around the corner. What a paranoia. He's looking to create pressure on the sides and then their offensive takes. But boom, they managed to hold them off. Nightfall in and the kills. And Berserk is in such a good position. But Zero's ready for the heads-up duel. Down to Ivy and Margaret onto the site. Great opening shot. Shiro's good onto the site as well. Margaret, with nothing but a Vendel to his name, trying to wrap around the corners. Dink, a pre-fired shot, a great dink. Pulls out the cam and he's thinking about it. But look at where Boom have gone. He has no idea. Boom. Together, they try to creep up, but the shot's too good. He's just ready for it. Quick on the trigger, and it's all up to Shiro, the IGL. Confidence in his veins. He needs to make it happen. Margaret just toying with him. Shiro, he gets the shot.
So okay, now it's 2-1. Now there's a bit of pressure. The crowd has gotten back into it because now Boom have just won a close map. We'd now move to Haven, a map where Sinprisa won 13-0 the last time that they played it. But it didn't start off great as Boom would continue their streak and again win the first 3 rounds. But then something awoke in Sinprisa and they found their footing again because they would say, okay, we're done playing. This is a map that we won 13-0 and we won 13-0 for a reason, because here's 9 rounds in a row. So pretty much every full gun round, Sinprisa dominated Boom on this attack side. And so now, again, just needing 4 rounds to close it out, 9-3 up. Hey, they lose a pistol, it's okay, right? We're still way out in the lead. Then they'd lose a bonus though. And this is where it starts to get a bit risky, and then they would just keep losing and losing and losing.
To bring SPG back.
He hasn't got it half.
Just trying to play off with the timing. Down to 8 HP. He needs to hold steady.
There's no time.
He's done it. Boom. They managed to take the lead.
Being seen by the cam yet. It's above them. They haven't checked the cam. In comes the fault line. It's a trap. Margaret dives forward, but Famous is better.
Great reaction from Boom. And this could be it. On towards Persia now, and he's been spotted. Manages to spray down on towards Famous. He gets yet another, but Cespi in for the wallbang, all down to Ivy. He's got so much utility, but can you do it? No!
And so then we'd come to the last map, Bind, and at this point you have to put this into the context of, okay, this team that was heavy favorites to win this game was 2-0 up, had 3 chances to win map 3 and close it out there, was 9-3 up on map 4 to close it out as well, and didn't manage to win either of those 2 maps. This was looking like a generational choke. And it started off pretty rough for Simpresa in map 5 as well, because they would find themselves struggling and clawing an 8-4 down at the half.
Berserks taking down Showers, and in comes the neural theft. What a shot into Margaret! You might be trying to flank up from behind, but you've been spotted as well. Ivy, though, still alive. Annihilation sets through, but doesn't quite connect. Now Shiro trying to fend off, trying to hold back up around Truck. A little of an angle up from Labs too, though. And Boom has to be well aware. Everything online and available, but then here comes the shots.
That's the orbital.
All down to Persia, and he's trying to sneak through. No sneaky.
And when you're 8-4 down, you really need a pistol round.
They trying to disrupt, but they're aggressing straight into the sack from SPG. They hit all the shots, Quack.
No!
How have they found the timing again?
That is ridiculous. Persia now desperately trying to head back just to retrieve the spot.
Shiro's trying to, swings out, punished by Ivy.
But on round 14, we would see Danby, who's, let's just say, a bit of a crazy player, as you're about to see in these next 2 rounds. He's going to force a Bucky.
The Korean squad desperately needs it. Danby, here he comes.
He's in.
Off to high lanes, in towards lamps. But Famous tucked up top on top of Trucks. Shiro in with a bit of support,
no.
but Margaret onto the other side. Danby! He's managed to sneak in.
And this guy loves shotguns, so the very next round, after succeeding with the Bucky, he bought his big brother, the Judge.
And he's going to keep sending it now.
Upgraded from a Bucky to a Judge.
See ya.
Instant stun. That's the first. And to the next. Off to more kills. Berserks frantically firing off.
But then Boom would kind of claw the momentum back and actually end up winning 2 rounds in a row to make it 11-6. And at 11-6, you're probably thinking like, okay, this game's probably over and Boom are going to complete this reverse sweep. But again, Simpresa found it within themselves to then knock off the next 6 rounds in a row.
On the side, but it's to no avail. The kills are good for SPG with the stinger up around elbow. Doesn't quite have the space either. Boom. This is the worst round possible to have. Spotted out as well. Danby 1 away from his overdrive.
So now it's 12-11 to Simpresa, and they're the team with the chance to win it all right here, right now. And Boom have just lost 6 rounds in a row, but now they turn up.
Room spite, the net hits the boat and they spray them all down, Quack.
Danby goes in. He's desperate to look for some frags in with the overdrive, but shut down by Patricia's trip. What? Of all things to net a kill, that's what it is.
All steps, he's noted the position of the Sky. Persia fighting hard in bathrooms. Straight back into Zesby, that's a spike.
That is the spike. Francis has no idea. And here comes Zesby.
And so here we are. It's overtime of map 5 of what's been an absolutely crazy series. And Simpresa would manage to win that first overtime round, but their first attacking round didn't go so well.
Imagine the feeling in the server right now. Danby back in with the Judge.
He gets the Judge out in overtime. It's ridiculous. Following in the Trailblazer into the side.
Straight in. And everyone from Boom tries to back off. Great shots from NC Slasher though. That's Danby down. 2 more from SPG too. Francis and Margaret trying to find space, but everything's been blocked off, cordoned off. No entry.
And so we would end up in a 1v5 and the map looks like this. Not very promising, right? Well, then this happened.
5 clutch. That's a little bit outlandish, Quack. Berserk's on the line, spots him out. Boom need to mobilize into spawn side. He's still sharp with it, but I don't think he can make this happen.
Francis tries to step out.
Oh,
What is that?
No!
Oh!
So close!
He almost made it happen.
And then we would enter into just a pure back and forth overtime where just any time a team needed to win that round to close out the game, they just couldn't. Someone would just step up for the other team when they needed to, and so we just kept going back and forth until finally we got to round 30. And in round number 30, Boom are the team who are trying to close this game out. And here we go. We're about to start an exec for Simpresa, but again, it's not going to go great, and they need this round. But you see, they end up dying there, right? We end up in a 3v5. This is the chance for Boom to win this. Yeah, they've got the A site, but our Cypher on Boom here is playing it smart, not overstaying, you know, just playing it safe. Play a 5v3 retake because surely everything's gonna be okay, right? Right?
To be avoided. They're stumbling over themselves to get into the site. Boom knows everything.
This could be it, Billy. If Boom play their cards right, they punch a one-way ticket through. The teleporter play now in through showers. Berserk's still up on top of heaven. The barrier mesh in their way.
What?
Francis! He puts up a good hold, but unfortunately still falls to the ground. Back to a 2-on-3. Margaret trying to stay alive, using the cyber cages. Berserk's tries to push up from spawn. Considering their options, looking up through.
Oh.
It's Ivy. He's good for it. This is his garden.
Annihilation.
The vines wrap around him. The Annihilation sends through and locks on.
And now we can skip ahead to the very next round as well. Round number 31. And in this point in the round, it's already a 5v4 here to SBG. Danby has managed to get the first kill. As we can see here, Boom are, you know, exploring towards short, and they do still have their race pushed up very deep in Hooker as well. They're going to hit this trip. They don't like it. They have to run away, and they are going to run away just here. And what happens next? Well, let's just say is going to be very interesting, because you see, SBG, what they're going to do is they're going to Skydog down here, and as you can see, we're coming back to our race. There comes the Skydog, doesn't see anyone, of course. And so now, we'll pause it just here, we get to play everyone's favorite game show. It's called Deformby or Dumby. What will Danby do next? And I want you to answer the question, what do you think happens next with Danby here and his opponents all here?
Got one guiding light to work with, and that's what they've got to do. Danby's TPing. He's trying to sow some seeds of down in there. What a spray down!
Onto the overdrive too. Oh, on towards Famous. He doesn't have the time. Just looking for a couple of frags.
And then it would happen. Round number 32. And I'm just going to give you my full reaction here to this round, because genuinely, I have never seen anything like this before.
It's down to Boom, trying to fight back.
Disruption over on bathrooms. Sky Smoke being thrown
16,
up here by
15.
Boom on the defense. SG lying in wait. Martin and Ivy biding their time.
See, last time they had a hard read off the timeout Boom on a defensive round that they needed. This time not as much. SPG taking their time.
They've thrown up the progression smoke. Big rotation back across the side. This was a winning round for Boom last time. Retake A with 4 stacking.
Now you've got double stacking showers. You're not going to send this.
Trailblazer, and then the TP play. They're just thinking about it, but there they go.
This time there's not a 3-on-5
2 TP.
boys. This time, everyone for SPG's alive here. Berserks ripping the cage.
TPs as well. 3 TP.
Famous on the rotation, breaking
Should
down
know
the
that's
deadlock.
probably
It's
all.
going to be so hard to get back in.
The Sonic Sensor set up around the
5v5, very tough. Oh,
They got to hit their shots.
oh, where are you going, buddy?
But here they come.
They're like
It's gonna be
3
down
in
to it,
shower.
and Danby trying to hold
But they
on
have
for
literal
Andrew.
no util. Look at this. It's they have no utility left.
And there goes those traps. The relay. It all hits. Danby's left.
What a shot.
And
Oh!
boom, they managed to fight back. Berserks.
1v3. They know where he is.
He's been good in
Just
this
get on it.
overtime
Why are you
so
bothering
far.
healing?
He do it
One off the
again.
orbital.
He might be the prince. 1 kill for the ultimate. But Berserks tries to stick
He's
to
got
fight.
it.
His teammate just needs to stick.
No! No!
He sticks it.
Oh!
Unbelievable.
SPG.
No
They have done it. The kill. The
No
ultimate
way.
orbital strike.
No
The Prince of
way.
Gaming will ascend to greatness. Welcome to VCT Pacific. Welcome.
Yeah, for those of you wondering, take a look at this. Look at how close this is. Apparently it was 0.05 seconds away. The chance of that happening, that a Brimalt kills you 0.05 seconds before you get the defuse to win the most important game of your life, is crazy. And this truly was the craziest ending I can ever think to any game.